Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you here today to my YouTube video, and I'd like to send out some thanks to some people who have commented on my other videos. I've been aware of the subject of mind control since I was a young boy. I remember the old man trying to fucking control my mind through pain. You know, he'd say, you know, cut the grass. And if I didn't cut the grass, he'd beat the shit out of me. So, you know, what do? You cut the grass, right? Mind control. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, and I'm not really familiar with what, you know, the circumstances were surrounding prohibition and the connection to mind control. I assume that the mobsters found out very early on that, you know, if they put alcohol in somebody's system, they could get them to do pretty much anything. Murder, rape, bank robbery, what have you. I think the problem with our children today is that they should be smoking weed at a much younger age. They're waiting too long. Before long, they've got all this anger and aggressiveness built up inside them, where if they were to smoke 2 or 3 joints a day, that would be pretty much non-existent. I'd like to send out anyone here tonight from Canada. Yes, I'd like to touch for a moment on your Prime Minister there, Justin Trudeau. You know, I mean, here we have a guy with one stroke of the pen. Ladies and gentlemen, one stroke of the pen virtually is going to eliminate violence. Eliminate violence completely. He's going to eliminate people expending unnecessary energy that, you know, they could conserve. Therefore, we'll probably save money on knee replacements and back surgeries and, you know, well, I mean, think about it. You know, look at the money we're going to save in antidepressants. Seizures. I mean, they've recently discovered that seizures, you know, I read an article about a little girl down in the States, you know, in one of them states where marijuana was illegal. They tried marijuana. This little girl was taking 75 seizures a day. 75. They smoked a joint with her, and she went from 75 seizures a day to between 4, 5, maybe 6 tops. Now, of course, marijuana being illegal in their state, the parents lobbied to have it legalized, at least, you know, for medical purposes, if nothing else. But to no avail. So now they're putting up stakes, they're selling their home, they're all say goodbye to all your family and moving to California, where they can get their hands on some pot for their little girl to improve the quality of her lifestyle. Justin Trudeau, I think probably his biggest legacy will be the legalization of marijuana and his receiving of the Nobel Peace Prize, basically for, as I said, eliminating violence, eliminating domestic violence, eliminating crime, you know. I mean, you know, when I was a kid, my old man, you know, he'd get off work at the potato warehouse on Friday night, you know, and he'd stop at the Legion on the way home. And then he'd show up at around 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, in his long underwear, right? Not 5 cents in his fucking pocket. Cocksucker. Buying drinks for the whores and everybody else in town. And us fucking kids home with not even a slice of bread. You know, and then he'd come home, what'd he do? He beat the shit out of Mom. He beat the shit out of all us, you know? And we had to walk around basically looking at the fucking floor. And why? Because the Illuminati and all governments around the world, just like the mob, discovered that if you put liquor into somebody, You can get them to do anything. Any fucking thing at all. You can get them to rape somebody. You can get them to kill somebody. You can get them to rob a bank. You can get them to beat somebody up. You can get them to do anything. Anything at all. They discovered it. You know, they discovered this was all part of mind control, you know. It's like subliminal advertising, you know. I mean, we're bombarded with subliminal advertising every day. I mean, some brain in the 1940s, you know, decided to experiment, you know, with putting text into the movies in the theater, you know, for like, you know, a half a millisecond every 2 milliseconds throughout the show. I mean, it's such fast intervals you couldn't even, you didn't even realize in 90% of the time that you were even being exposed to this, you know. And as a result, popcorn sales and everything else went through the roof. So we do know that subliminal advertising we're bombarded with it. I said back in the 1970s that they legalized the wrong drug, you know. I mean, here we had, you know, I mean, Justin Trudeau's father, I mean, his mother, I mean, she smoked pot with the Rolling Stones, for fuck's sake. I mean, these were good living people, you know, and we voted them in, and you know, and I think through their offspring, they probably smoked a little pot with Justin when he was young, and at an early age, he probably discovered the true benefits of smoking pot. I mean, for fuck's sake, they give it to cancer patients. You know, they can't eat. I mean, you smoke a fucking joint, they're like, geez, they want to eat everything in sight. But, no weed, no appetite. So, you know, I think what we need to do is take a much closer look at this whole thing, you know, because, you know, for instance, we're being bombarded with all these commercials that are saying, don't get high and drive. Okay, of course, we know we're not going to shoot up, you know, 10 cc's of heroin and get behind the liquor. We understand that. I mean, I think as individuals, we all know what our limits are when we smoke weed. You know, we smoke a little bit of weed, fuck's sake, we get behind the wheel, we're more cautious. I mean, geez, you know, you're driving along and there's a guy a little close to you on this side, you got her this way a bit, and there's a guy a little bit too close on each side, you got her that way a little bit. You know, and I mean, I think when you smoke a joint, you're more focused on your driving than you're on anything, because you can't multitask when you're smoking weed. You have to focus on the task at hand, and, you know, that's the thing. I mean, if people talk about multitasking, well, you know, multitasking. Who in the fuck invented multitasking? Jesus fuck. I mean, I get up and I go to work in the morning, and I'm sure some of you have all experienced this too. You know, you go in, get your arm, you go in, you tidy up the desk, and you make coffee, and you do this, and you do that, and you do this, and you do that. I was fucking hired, okay? I was fucking hired to sweep the floor. So why in the fuck am I making coffee? Why in the fuck am I tidying up the desk when I was simply fucking hired to sweep the floor? This multitasking shit is fucked up, man. No more of this multitasking shit. You know, they don't realize that when, and this is the reason a lot of governments don't want to legalize marijuana. And I have you know this, and I have this is first-hand knowledge, brother. Let me tell you. And I tell you no fucking lies right here. Right here, I tell you no fucking lies. Now, the reason they didn't want to legalize marijuana, and that in some places they'll never legalize marijuana, is because they're trying to cover up UFOs, number one, the UFO phenomena, and then they know that anybody who's smoking weed, you can't control their mind. You can't. You can't get their attention long enough to do it. So, the antidote is clear. I mean, we must smoke weed, and smoke more weed, and more weed. You know? So, it makes it a little bit hard to get up in the morning. Okay, fine. I agree. I mean, I know we've all experienced that. We've all smoked a big gagger before we went to bed at night, and yes, in the morning you're a little groggy. But not a cup of coffee won't fix. I mean, fuck, I get up and drive a cup of coffee and smoke a big joint of weed, and I'm as good as new. And yeah, so I'm 15, 20 minutes late getting to work in the morning. Okay? Yeah, 15, 20 minutes late. Big fucking deal. Big fucking deal. If the guy outside the door waiting for me to open the establishment, if he smoked a joint, and he's standing outside the door, and it ain't open, he couldn't give two figures flying fucks. He couldn't care one fucking iota. And I know this from first-hand experience. Now, we might have to make some alterations with regards to some businesses. All restaurants would have to be open 24 hours. There would be no exception to the rule. All restaurants must be kept open 24 hours. Okay? Then, you know, alcohol, we must rid the planet of alcohol. I mean, we must rid the planet of alcohol completely, ladies and gentlemen. You realize that more deaths are related to alcohol than any other drug known to man. Now, if you say and you ask, and I mean, I see it all the time, man. You know, you're not allowed to talk to the pilots, eh? I used to drive a cab, you know, when I lived in Halifax. I used to drive a cab, you know. We had a contract with Air Canada, you know. And they used to give us this piece of paper with all these fucking rules about, you know, how we had to respond. When we pulled up in the place, of course, we had to get out. We had to open the door. We weren't allowed to talk to them on the way to the airport. You don't fucking believe that. We weren't allowed to talk to them. You know why we weren't allowed to talk to them, for fuck's sake? We weren't allowed to talk to them because the fucking cocksuckers were half drunk. They were half fucking drunk, every fucking one of them. Drinking. Oh yeah, fuck up at a quick martinis before I leave the hotel room, you know. Jump behind the fucking wheel of the plane. They're taking 360 people's fucking lives in their hands. Look at the Flight 370. Sweet fuck. I mean, he was so fucked up they never found him. He was so fucking drunk they never found him. And the plane just disappeared in the fucking thin air. Now you tell me, how does a fucking big airplane like that disappear in the thin air? It's fucking impossible. You know? But everything we do, ladies and gentlemen, you know, their government is working diligently, I say, every day. They're trying to fuck with their mind. Okay? They've made their pineal gland inactive. I mean, I read an article where guys like Chris Angel and people with special abilities, you know, they did brain scans on them. And then they did brain scans of people with no special abilities at all. And they came to realize that the only difference between the two, in terms of the brain scan, was that Chris Angel's pineal gland was active. And in people with no special abilities, the pineal gland showed dormant. There was no activity there at all. So you know, there's some truth. Now, apparently the Hindu tribes in India way back in the time, they believed in what they call a third eye. We raise you in the center of your forehead. And the third eye was considered to be the pineal gland. The pineal gland, if any of you are not familiar with the term, it's in the center of your brain. It's very middle of your brain. And they've come to discover that essentially it's a link between your left side and the right side of your brain. You know how they say, you know, the left side of your brain controls the right side of your body and vice versa. Well, apparently, if you can find a way to activate the pineal gland, and there are proven methods out there such as detoxification of the body, a healthy regimen of meditation, binaural sounds, beats, certain foods you should avoid. Cocoa is a good food to eat. You know, there are a plethora of different approaches. I would say one of my favorite approaches is the repetitive thought process. And when you're in theta, when you're in the theta state, you know, just before you go to sleep, it's time when you lay down, you say, listen, yeah, I love this world. I love my neighbors, they're beautiful people. I love the people down the street. They ripped me off 50 cents at the store today, but you know, and I don't give a fuck because I love them, you know. I love everyone, I love everything, and most of all, I love me, okay? Then, you also have to, you know, reprogram the subconscious, and when you're in theta, that's right before you go to sleep at night. Your brain is in the ideal state for subconscious programming, and we tend to watch a little TV, and you know, we go to bed with that last subliminal message in the morning when we wake up, and we're afraid because, you know, you're going to blow something up, or, you know, every time you turn on the news is terror. You know, they're controlling us with fear, and you know, the only thing to fear is fear itself, because, I mean, fear of the unknown doesn't exist. If it's unknown, it doesn't exist, you know. Now, you know, it's really frustrating for a guy like me that has all of these thoughts inside me, and I have a complete understanding of, for instance, you look at religion. You know what? Religion is not corrupt. Religion is not corrupt. It's people being religious. Religious about the fact they're going to do good. Religious about the fact they're going to love their neighbor. Religious about the fact they're going to take care of their body. And religious about the fact they're going to take care of their mind. You know, it's been proven. It's been proven. We come from light. We come from energy. We come from light. So, you know, scientists have taken and understand that, you know, everything exists from light, essentially from protons. So what they've done is they split the proton in Wisconsin with a positive and a negative. They split the proton of light. They had a negatron. They took a positron and took it to England, and they put it in an enclosure 11,000 miles away. Ladies and gentlemen, they convert the negative proton in Wisconsin to positive, and 11,000 miles away, the negative proton also become a positive. So I guess basically what I'm trying to say is that the planet, the trees, the sofa, the house, the radio, your skin, your wife, your children, your truck, your car, we are all made from energy. Okay? Now, I believe that when we die, okay, our soul, okay, simply, as I said before, energy. Our soul is energy. So, like everything else in the world, you know, I believe that there's things good and evil. For instance, good and bad, hot, cold, black and white. Everything has an opposite, you know. Physics tells us that everything has an opposite. Now, what I've extrapolated from all of this is the amount of fear that is generated to the population day in and day out, and day in and day out is superfluous, to say the least. We have to bind together. We have to stop these people who are putting roadblocks up in front of Justin Trudeau. I call you Pierre, but you know, it's a program. I was a kid, right? But, you know, back then I thought your mother was a pioneer. I mean, I'll never forget the little photograph of her sitting in the chair, you know, smoking a joint. With, I think it was, no, it wasn't Mick Jagger. It was Keith Richards, yeah. And he was pulling himself, and her panties were showing, and I thought to myself, now, here's some people that really got it going on, you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to maybe wind things up early. If any of you have any questions you'd like to ask, I'd be happy to do the best I can to answer them for you. But what I want to say in closing, and I can't reiterate this enough. I can't drive this home enough. I made this video and held this here symposium, if you will, simply because I want Justin Trudeau to watch it and to understand that, hey man, we voted for you, man. We did. We voted for you. And yes, we voted for you because you were going to legalize marijuana. And you were going to fix up the streets and the roads and the bridges. That's why we voted for you. And you can't let us down, man. You can't let us down. You need to take a serious look at subliminal advertising. I think personally there should be a ban on it. We should, I mean, it's, you know, it's easy to understand that the legalization of marijuana, where it hasn't been done before, involves a lot of work, and you got the bureaucrats in there, and they're feeding their bullshit into the whole, you know. I don't know, sometimes I think about it, I'm not for words, but so establishing the legalization of marijuana, yes, I can understand it's going to consume a little bit of time. But I think the easiest way to make the transition is if we were to ban alcohol completely. I mean, think about it, the infrastructure, the stores are already there. We could take all that booze outside the liquor store, simply dump it down the storm drain, and fill the shelves up with pot. I mean, that's simply how easy it is. I mean, all fall under the same regulation. You know, and then I would hope that, you know, for instance, you go to the liquor store and you buy wine. Those that choose to go to a homebrew store and buy a kit, they go home and they make their own wine. As long as they're not selling it, they're only making it for their own purpose, it's 110% completely legal. Justin, I think that, you know, if you're open to a little advice, I think that's probably the route that we should take. As far as smoking and driving, you got to get on that right away, man. You really do. You need to get on that ASAP. Because people who don't smoke weed and drive are more of a danger to society than they are to themselves. Okay? Or wait, no. People that drink and drive, sorry, yeah. Or people that don't smoke, yeah. That's it, Justin, sorry. People that don't smoke weed and drive are dangerous. They're violent. Okay? They're violent. They display signs of road rage. I mean, if you're smoking a little bit of weed and you're driving down the road in your car, you know, one thing about weed is you're going to focus on your driving. You're going to focus on your driving because when you smoke weed, you can't multitask. Okay? So therefore, you're focused on your driving. I mean, you're going down the road, you know, some guy comes up on the left-hand side, yeah, and you catch him in your rear view mirror, or you adjust your car over this way a little bit. You'll be driving down the road, the guy comes up on the right-hand side, yeah, you know, he looks like he's a little bit close, you know, and you kind of adjust your car over that way a little bit, and you're good to go. You know, if the guy in front of you doesn't notice the light is green, chances are you ain't going to notice that either. You know, because when you're stopped and your car is in a fixed position and you're stoned, you don't concentrate on your driving anymore. You know, you don't, because that's not the focus of the moment. You're stopped. You don't need to focus on your driving. That's when you might have a little self-talk. You know, sort of winding yourself down a little bit in your brain. But, you know, virtually, that's what you need to do, Justin. You need to get these hypocrites off the TV and the radio making them fucking commercials saying, don't smoke and drive. That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. I mean, if you go back to the 20s and the 30s and the mob, I mean, they understood, the mob understood. They understood that if you gave a guy a box of beer, or a bottle of wine, or a fucking bottle of liquor, you could get him to do anything. Any fucking thing. You know, come home. Beat the fucking wife, beat the kids, beat your mama for fuck's sake. You know, beat the paper boy, fucking beat everybody. You know, go rob the fucking bank, steal, fucking rape, you name it, do what you fucking want to do, you know. You get people drunk, man, you can get them to fucking do anything. You know. I think the government, the same as the mob, they understood this. You know, the Illuminati and them guys. They were thinking about all this fucking shit too, man. They were thinking about it. Don't kid yourself, they weren't. They were fucking thinking about it. But you know, they came to the conclusion that, and the governments came to the conclusion that, maybe this alcohol is not such a bad thing. Maybe we could use this, implement it towards our research in mind control, because, you know, they discovered that, as I said before, you give somebody a box of beer, man, you can get them to do just about anything. But now, you understand why they don't want to legalize marijuana? Oh, sure we do. They don't want to legalize marijuana, and I'll tell you why they don't want to legalize marijuana, ladies and gentlemen. They don't want to legalize marijuana because they fucking know. They know. They know. They fucking know. They know that when a guy is stoned, you can't control his fucking mind. They know that. They're not stupid. They fucking know that, eh? They fucking know that when a guy's stoned, you can't fucking control his mind. Because in order to control somebody's mind, you have to get his fucking attention. And in order to get his attention, you have to force him to multitask. And if he's stoned, he ain't gonna do it, because you can't get stoned and multitask. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I wish we had more time today, but, you know, if you'd like, I'll be hanging around, signing a few copies of my book. You know, yeah, and, if anybody wants to smoke anything, then, you know, we can go outside and smoke a joint or two, or 3 or 4, or, you know, and we can all relax and maybe share some of our thoughts. And this is not the last YouTube presentation that I'll be doing. Hopefully in the future, I intend to get our former Defence Minister Paul Hellyer to pop by here and you know, discuss some of his thoughts on the UFO cover-up and the cover-up of zero energy and so on. And I look forward to seeing you in the future. Until then, I'm Rich McMillan, and toodaloo.